Welcome to MCpodcast, aka Metaculture, and in today's episode we're going to be going over the best or all the seasonal anime that we got going on here, and we're going to go over just a bunch of them, not all of them, but the ones that are good and the ones that are worth watching. So I'm going to start off with Demon Slayer. It just dropped. Of course, this is the 4th season, I believe, of Demon Slayer, and it's kind of like a training arc where you get to see a lot of the individual Hashiras and what they do. And this is another season where it's not really, the main focus being Muzan or, the main fight happening, but still expect a lot from it. Of course, this Demon Slayer, it's got the animation, it's got more of the plot development going on, and definitely the coolest part is meeting all the Hashiras and seeing what they can do. Next on this list is, as a reincarnated aristocrat, I use my appraisal skill to rise in the world. This is another one where it's kind of just a reincarnation of a normal businessman or salaryman, and basically he gets reincarnated into a child who's like the 6th son of a noble, and basically they're going to war and there's a lot of stuff going on, but essentially he has the ability to appraise people's skills and see what their powers are, so just like strategist, like magical, just a whole bunch of different aspects. And it's just one of those animes where it's like just little kid, main character, he grows a little bit older, but it's still another kind of rendition of reincarnated as a little kid with a specific power. It's not original, but it's not bad. If you're really bored, then that's something to give you something to watch. But next on this list is Mushoku Tensei Part 2. This is where it gets a little bit more serious. I think the last season was a little bit more, interested in other aspects of him and what he needs to grow through. And basically he made Sylvie last season, and they kind of blossom into love, and that was kind of the main part of that story. But now it's getting a little bit more serious, where he sees his dad Paul, he sees his mom, his little sister, so it's about to start getting real serious. Super cool, just continuation. Definitely high hopes for this. This is something you should be watching. If not, go back and watch the first season, and you'll definitely pull up and watch the whole thing. Kind of the romance of this season is Grandma and Grandpa turn young again. This is kind of a cool twist on a romance where they already have a lot of love for each other, and they've obviously been together for a very long time, but essentially they become young again, and it kind of goes to their daily life and how they interact with each other. It's just another good romance season. It's definitely interesting. It's definitely something you should watch if you want some romance and if you like that type of thing. Next on this list is The Duke of Death and His Maid Season 3. We all know that Khalil loves this show. It's a 3D romance. It's honestly pretty cool. It's hard to get past the 3D animation, but once you do, it's got some great values in it. The interaction between his maid and him is really nice to see, and it's heartwarming. This is definitely another show, if you haven't watched, it's a continuation, so give it a try. You might like it. The next is Go Go Loser Ranger, and oh my god, this is a cool twist on Power Rangers. I know that sounds stupid, but this show, I don't want to spoil it too much, but basically the Power Rangers in this sense are bad, and they kind of force these enemies, quote unquote, or fighters, to continuously fight them because they're undying. So they just kind of put a show on the world, on for the world, and basically just make these guys fight and get their ass whooped every single time they go against them. But it's basically about a fighter who's tired of getting his ass whooped, following orders, and having nothing else to life. So he kind of goes into it, and he has ability to transform, and so do a lot of the other people, but he's better at transforming into people. So he uses this as a chance to kind of infiltrate the Power Rangers, and kind of work his way up to get the divine artifacts, which basically are able to kill them because they're immortal. But he wants to collect all of them and upset the Power Rangers because they're really malicious. They're the opposite of what the Power Rangers you think of are. They're just not nice. You could tell they're killers. They just do stuff for their own glorification and just to look good. And yeah, that's a good one to watch. It's got some great animation. I think it's going to be pretty underrated this season. I know a lot of people have watched it, but it definitely looks good. Next is Mission Yozakura Family. Basically in this one, it's this kid who's basically his parents died, of course. The main character can never have a family, but he's in school. He can barely react with anybody or interact with anybody besides his childhood friend and his family. And his family basically, her family is like a group of assassins and like really kind of crazy people. And basically it's kind of him and his wits against her family, which are super protective over her. And basically he gets thrown headfirst into their family's chaos. And he's just got to protect her and uncover the secrets of his own past and the whole family as a whole. So, but this is a cool kind of shonen romance with a little bit of powers. This one actually looks pretty cool. Definitely its own twist, own originality, and looks like something enjoyable. So if you guys haven't checked it out, definitely do it with that one. Next on this list is Whisper Me a Love Song. So this is the shoujo ai of the season. I'm not really too much into this, but if that's your deal, this is definitely the one you should watch. I don't really have much to say because I haven't watched it, but it's shoujo ai. I mean, you're into it if you're into it. If not, we're gonna go to the next one. Alright, this next one I have some beef with. It's called The New Gate. Alright, this is a rip-off of freaking SAO, Sword Art Online. It's legit. This guy's on an online death game. Alright, basically ends the game, saves the people, and guess what? Everybody logs out, and a door opens up for him, and he gets reincarnated into the game world, but it's real life, and it's 500 years in the future. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. Anime's kind of just doing whatever they want at this point and not really caring too much of the plot and kind of just skipping over the plot idea and just going straight into just whatever they want to do. Jellyfish Can't Swim at Night. I haven't watched this one, but this one looks like a highly anticipated anime. It looks really cool animation wise. It's got a cool vibe going on. It's rated pretty highly, but this is another one you should watch if you want something new and something like a breath of fresh air. Not too much to say on that one, but this is the best anime of the season. And when I say best anime of the season, there's no second close, bro. No anime that's close at all. And this is Kaiju number 8. I mean, just the way that they start off this anime, like a lot of anime struggle to really get behind the plot, get behind the story, then develop the characters, make you care for them, and then like put you in a place where you like mess with all the characters and the whole ideal. But this one, all in all, has a lot of emotions going on. I would say it's a coming of age story, but he's already older. He has his aspirations. And it's a world where kind of kaijus come in and they have a defense corps, and he joins in. Obviously there's a little twist in there, but this is one of the most well done animes I've seen in a while. This season has a lot of great animes coming out, and this is one of them. This is a must watch. This is not if you want to watch, this is a must watch for you anime watchers out there. It's got everything going on. I don't want to spoil anything crazy, but it's definitely a great show. Next on this list is My Hero, season 7, and this is where shit goes fucking down. Like when I say down, it's the end of the season, end of the show type deal. So you know this is a season to tune in and watch. This is another continuation anime. So I don't want to say too much on it because a lot happens during the season. But this is another must watch. This is the ending of an age and of a new anime. To us you've been watching anime for a long time, it feels like I just started watching this season 1 when it was coming out. But season 7, ready to finish. Emotions are high. It's just gonna come through in a lot of aspects. So stay tuned for My Hero season 7. Is really good. Next on this list, I don't even know if I should add this. This is the Misfit King Academy 2 Part 2. The uploading of this has been a little wishy-washy. It hasn't come out anything crazy. I'm surprised this has gotten as many seasons as it had. The first season I really liked, but it started getting really repetitive and less funny throughout the whole thing. So if you've been watching it, and if not, I mean, this is not something I'm really crazy recommending, but there's a lot of better stuff to watch. But if you really have time for it, this is another one you could watch. Now, The Irregular at the Magic High School Season 3. I really, really liked the first season. Super concrete, a lot of good stuff going on. Season 2 fell off just a little bit for me, but Season 3 seems to be picking it back up, where there's a lot of conflictions going on, and they're getting more and more into, their family and as a whole. And if you guys haven't seen this show, basically there's factions of families that are super strong. It's called the 10 families, and they're one of them, and he's a super strong magician, and they're getting a lot into the nitty gritty between the two and their family, and a lot of the side characters are coming together to make it really good. The animation is always there. The fight scenes, the choreography, always super sick in this anime. So if you guys haven't watched it, you should go ahead and do it. And if you have, this is a continuation, and it's picking up. So definitely go for it. Now, the third season of The Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Now, there's not much more to expect. I mean, this is just a goated anime, a nice continuation, a lot of boxing, a lot of your characters that you've seen in the past season are coming together, and they're kind of fighting I thought to be, not friends, but acquaintances, and I think stuff is really going to turn up, and you're going to see a lot of what the side characters can do, and as Rimuru as well. So I think this season is definitely going to be goated. Definitely another good one to watch. This is another must-watch. Next on this list is Windbreaker, and when I tell you this is a breath of fresh air, it's Tokyo Revengers done right. It's not so much about going back in time and all these crazy powers and all this subplots and crazy stuff going on. It's just a kid who kind of was an outcast, and he's kind of put against these people who protect the town or who are protectors and who come together as a community rather than what he's been used to, which is just adversity and people that just look down upon him and just separate themselves from him. He's kind of coming to the school thinking that it's just bad people, where it's totally the opposite. It's called Bofuren, and it's basically about protecting people and protecting the town that they're in. Now, that aside, there's a whole lot of boxing, a whole lot of fighting, and a whole lot of cool scenes and great side cast. This is just a great anime you guys should try. I don't think this is getting enough hype. I know a lot of people are talking about it, but come on, this is Windbreaker. This is a little bit of Beelzebub, just a tiny bit of it where, the guy wants to get stronger, go to the top, and become the strongest guy around. But it's kind of switched up to where he wants to support the people he's with rather than being number one. But other than that, this is a sick show. This is definitely a must-watch of the season. I would say the second best anime of this season. Not close to Kaiju, but it's definitely got its own twist and its own aspects that really pop out. Next on this list is An Archdemon's Dilemma, How to Love Your Elf Wife. At first, the name and everything's a little but you really see two people come together that are opposites, and really just two awkward people just kind of start becoming more and more together. And it's just a romance anime that's done decently well, just like Grandma and Grandpa Turn Young Again. It's just another one to watch if you need something to watch. That's something that'll warm your heart and just something to enjoy. Next on this list is Konosuba. I'm going to hand off the mic.
Konosuba? Goatsuba, that's what you really should call it. Do I need to talk to you about what's really going on in Konosuba? Season 3 is when Kazuya finally gets taken off to the castle and he does a bunch of buffoonery. It's funny as shit, possibly one of the best and funniest animes, isekais of all time. Anyways, let's continue. Next one is my shit. It's Date Alive. I've enjoyed every season of Date Alive. I'm not glad I can't read Roman numerals. I think it's season 4 or 5, whatever. Season 5. Another enjoyable type of shit. I really enjoy it. I love seeing the main character have to mag another one of the angels that come out of nowhere, and obviously it goes more and more intense into the plot. I know he has mad beef with some one of the dudes that pull up and try to fuck with his shit. So there's gonna be a lot of things that are finally getting adapted from the light novels. And once again, I really enjoy this so far. You should watch it, especially if you're a man of culture.
Next on this list is gonna be Unnamed Memory. Now, this is one where it's basically a prince who basically goes through this tower, and he has this curse where he can't marry anybody because they'll fucking die. And basically, he either needs to find someone powerful enough to withstand the effects of the curse, or he climbs the tower, finds a witch, and forces her basically to come down to grant his wish, just to spend some time with him. Basically, he's going to spit some game, make her try to fall in love with him, and basically get a wife who can withstand the curse. This is a good romance anime with a lot of fantasy in it, and it's definitely like a medieval kind of magic-esque to it, but this is definitely a super cool anime. It's definitely something worth watching. It's called Unnamed Memory. Definitely give it a try. Now, The banished former hero lives as he pleases. All right, this is an anime I do not recommend. All right, this is one of the very, very few that's on this list that I don't recommend, just because of how basic and how repetitive and how bad this was. That I felt it just the animation wasn't there. The story is super repetitive. It's rated like a 5 out of 10, and in my opinion, that's being nice because there are so many animes like this, and it's just not worth watching. Another, I don't know why they keep dropping so many Spice and Wolf, Merchant meets Wise Wolf. I've seen so many of this. I don't even know if it's a continuation or if it's just a reanimated, like redeveloped version of the original series, which I think it is. And people love it. I mean, I don't get it, but you know what I mean? Just give it a try. Spice and Wolf. It's a romance fantasy. Basically, it's just about a wolf, basically a wolf spirit, and a merchant and a human falling in love, and she's like a deity, I believe. It's just got its own twist on it, and it's pretty cool. Now, this is one I have some beef with as well. I was reincarnated as the 7th prince so I could take my time perfecting my magical ability. That's a mouthful, but a problem with this anime. I watched the first episode. It's got some great animation. It had a lot of good things going on with it. The problem is the main character is not only a child, but it's made to look like a girl. And that's all.
Call that?
I'm not calling it anything just because I want to stay monetized. So
we call that a trap.
We call it a trap. But the problem is this it's like it had so many cool aspects going on with it, and the only problem I had with it was the main character being a girl / guy who's like over sexualized in a bad way. I'm like, the anime is good when it has its certain types of it's just very hard to watch. It's like they get overly stimulated when it's about magic, and it's a little questionable.
Very questionable.
Very questionable. It had some good things going on with it. The animation looked cool. The choreography looked cool. The demon that he was fighting had a really cool idea, but then they just kind of turn it into a weird way. And this is one I would not recommend to you guys because it's just, if anybody walks in on you watching this, it's over for you. Like, your life is over. Yeah, don't risk it, bro. Let me tell you. Don't risk it. Now, Remonster, all right? This is a good one, bro. This was a good one right here. It's moving a little fast comparative to the manga, but this is another good kind of, I wanted to say he's reincarnated as a slime, but basically he's reincarnated as a goblin. And basically his ability is that he eats whatever he eats, he gains the ability from. So it's very similar to reincarnated as a slime in that sense, but the side characters are interesting. It's definitely another isekai with a super strong main character. This is definitely a good one to watch. One of the best ones of the season, in my opinion. But either way, Remonster is a good one. Suzuki Moonlight Fantasy, Suzuki Miki, whatever it is, Moonlight Fantasy Season 2. All right, me and Khalil have some alternative like opinions on this. In my opinion, the show really started off Season 1 with a lot of the MC making his own decisions and doing stuff like the way whatever he wanted without worrying about who saw him or what he did. And this season's a lot about other people in the side cast that I really don't give a fuck about, in my opinion. I mean, the side heroes, the guy that got reincarnated has a problem, bro. He's just a weirdo who has an affection ability, so he's even more of a weirdo. And the girl actually had a cool backstory, just some cool stuff going on with her. But other than that, I mean, the main character isn't taking things into his own hands. Like, he's just letting himself like get like kind of not made fun of, but like almost taken advantage of. And he's like, everything he's doing is like somehow he's messing it up. And I don't know if I'm looking at this wrong or looking at this biasly, but I feel like they could be doing this show a lot better. I don't know if it's just a season and how it is, but I really haven't seen this keep up with the first season because it had so much of a better feel to it comparatively to the second one. I don't know if you have any words.
I mean, to be honest, I disagree with what Tanner said because I like the direction they're going for when they're trying to develop the side characters and also develop like the conflict and like the interactions that the three heroes are going to have, kind of making it developing as it like some point they're gonna meet and there's gonna be some sort of conflict. And obviously, as the end goal is probably him gonna have a conflict with the goddess too as well. And there's a lot of I understand there's a lot of moving parts to this Moonlight Fantasy, but I really enjoy it. I like the direction he's going. He's definitely going about it in a political type of like, basically like as a governor, because
he's a bitch and he has superpowers and he's not using them.
He's trying to govern things and not just use absolute authority, because that doesn't work all the time. So
I mean, that's valid.
He's trying to go about this diplomatically and not use violence all the time, because if you watch Vinland Saga, we have no enemies.
Yeah, but he's letting people die left and right just because he don't want to lift a finger. All right. Anyways, in the next one, chilling in another world with level 2 super cheap powers. I mean, bro, what is anime doing? I mean, I don't understand why there's so many renditions of this. The anime's all right. It's definitely something you could watch if you want some romance. Everybody loves an isekai apparently with like super magical powers. In my opinion, he doesn't know how to use his powers. He's just doing random shit and like fixing everybody's problems, which I don't like, because you want some grind, some effort in what stuff is being fixed, and he's kind of just doing it. And basically, he bagged the chick from the demon army just because he whooped her. Yeah, pretty much it. Chilling in another world with my level 2 super cheat. God's Game we played, another psychological strategy game where the main character is super smart and figures his way out of everything. The side cast is a little boring. I think a lot of animes do it better, especially like Classroom Lily. That's something to look at where it's done good. Liar Liar's another better one. This one is a little bit worse, you know what I mean? It doesn't have that oomph that a lot of the psychological like mental warfare games have, or animes have, and it's one of the lesser ones of the season for sure. And that just about wraps it up. I mean, all in all, I think this season has some bangers in it. It has some great continuations and some new stuff going on. And I think all in all, this season has been way better than the rest, or the recent seasons. But seriously, give these animes a try. They've got a lot of stuff going on.
Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. MCpodcast out. Peace.